This is Grandmaster Damian Lemos for onlinechesslessons.net, and in this DVD we are going to be analyzing games from Russian Grandmaster Peter Svidler. In this introduction we are going to see a game between him and Alexey Dreev. He's also a well-known Russian Grandmaster. So let's get started. Svidler plays e4 and black plays d5. As you know, this is the Scandinavian. We take, and here black plays knight to f6. The main move of the Scandinavian is playing queen takes d5, and here is white. We can take the chance to develop a piece. We threat the queen at the same time, and usually black plays queen a5. We can play d4 followed by bishop c4, bishop d2. Usually white has a slight advantage in this opening, but we'll see that black plays knight to f6 here. He's not taking on d5 yet. He wants to take with the knight. And here Svidler plays knight to f3, which is interesting. I don't think we have to defend the d5 pawn by playing c4, because here black, he can play in a gambit style by playing e6 or probably c6 too. If we take, then knight takes, and here black has a nice counterplay. He's down a pawn, but development wise he's got an advantage, and we don't have a strong center here, so I don't like this for white. In the opening we don't have to go after material, we should have a better development, so that is why I prefer knight to f3. Black takes with the knight on d5. As we said, if he takes with the queen, we can just keep on winning development tempos with knight c3. So knight takes d5, and here white plays d4. I like this move. We already have a stronger center, and I guess we have to continue with c4 as well. Black plays bishop to c4, and bishop c4 makes a lot of sense, because if he plays e6, which makes sense too because he wants to finish his development. Problem here is the bishop, it's gonna be inside the pawn chain, and bishop c8 can't go out. This bishop would be a tall pawn here, or a bad bishop crashing into the pawn chain. So bishop c4 it's better. Then he can play e6, but the bishop it's like outside. As white we play h3. Black plays bishop h5, which is fine. Taking the knight, it's not cool, because then we have the bishop pair as white. You have to know that usually bishops they are better than knights, especially in open positions. So I think here we have a stronger center, plus the bishop pair, we have an advantage as white. Black continues with the pin, and here we play c4, getting a stronger center. Knight to b6, knight to c3, and here black plays e5, which is quite aggressive, and unless we play strong here, looks like black he's gonna equalize, because he's breaking our center. Anyway, I think he should have played e6. I mean, as black, you have to play solid in the opening, because usually white has the first movement advantage. e5, it's like he's attacking without having a great development, so as white will be able to punish here. The thing is, when he plays e5, if we take, he's gonna take, and then he's taking on f3. He's down a pawn, but he's got a powerful development, a lot of threats, and he can also continue castling queenside. So I really like this for black. He's got a powerful initiative and he's only sacrificing a pawn. It's a good deal, actually. So after e5, here Svidler plays c4. I know we are probably creating weaknesses at kingside, but now if he plays bishop c6, we just play knight takes e5 and we got a pawn for free, which is a lot already. And after e takes d4, we play knight takes d4. We are still attacking that bishop on h5, bishop c6, and here bishop c2. This makes a lot of sense, of course. We develop a piece, we attack on b7, and we are finishing our development if we castle. Black plays c6, we castle, and he plays bishop e7. We have to see that if he takes on c4, this is mistaken. His king is in the center. We can easily punish him by playing queen e2 check, and we win a piece. So black can't afford playing with the king in the center. He has to play bishop to e7, and he's lacking development. We're gonna play f4, so he can't castle yet. He has to be aware of the f5 threat. He has to play h6. But we continue advancing and winning tempos, so we play f5, bishop h7. We already see that this bishop on h7, it's not playing much, it's out of play, and we have a big space advantage as white. However, he's gonna castle soon. We'll have to find a move to stop it. I mean, if his king is in the center, that's gonna be much better for us. It's gonna be easier to attack it. So here we could play something like b3, defending our position. We can continue developing, and we still have a great position, I think. However, Svidler found a nice move here, which is c5. The thing is, we are creating a threat, and we don't allow this move. So black plays knight to d7. If he takes on c5, which looks a natural move, attacking this knight on d4, we can just play rook to e1 check. Now the e file is open, and if he plays king to f8, we just play bishop to e3. We are sacrificing a pawn, but now we have a lot of threats like knight to e6 check, bishop c5 it's hanging, so is the queen on d8. I think we have a big advantage here, especially because his king it's gonna be on f8 for the rest of the game, and his bishop on h7 is not playing at all. So knight b d7, and once more Svidler finds a move to stop black from castling, and this move it's c5. Very nice move. I know this is not easy to see, But if you think about it, black has probably 2 or 3 options here. They are not good at all. For instance, if he plays bishop takes, we have some great chances on the d6 square by playing knight to e4 and knight d6. We can probably play this first, and then knight to e4, knight d6. It's a big threat, and here if he castles, the queen could be trapped easily here, and we can probably see he's full of weaknesses here too. Knight e4 as well. If he takes with the pawn, and this is the sharpest variation so far, we can play knight to e6, and we are punishing him again. He has to take. Well, if he plays queen a5, we are going to take on c7, and we can just come back to e6. We are opening his king a lot. The thing is, if he takes on e6, we have a queen h5 check, and after king f8 we take, and we're gonna play queen f7 next, and it's mate in 1. So this g5, followed by knight e6, it's a really nice variation. However, black, he's just ignoring the threat here because he castles, and of course here we can consider taking on h6. I mean, when we play g5, we see that h6 it's hanging. However, I guess black can play bishop takes c5 now, and if we keep on taking here, this could be dangerous because now our pawns are not attacking much. In fact, his king is well protected. He's using our pawns to protect his king. We want to open lines around his king. We don't want to close lines. And by playing this, we are closing lines. So that is why taking on h6, we can do this, but we have to be extremely careful because he's got some decent counterplay here. Svidler plays a stronger move here, and he wins material by playing c6. We'll see that after c6 we attack his bishop, and he has to take. Otherwise, he's just losing this bishop on h7. Here we play the in-between move, knight to e6, and now we're gonna win this change, which is a lot already. Queen to c8, and here we take on f8. Black plays an in-between move, bishop takes c5 check, and he's gonna get some pawns in return. I mean, he's down this change, but he's taking a lot of pawns here, so we have to be careful. King h1, and bishop takes f8. Here, unless we take on c6, he's gonna take the f5 pawn. I mean, this bishop right here looks passive, but we can't do much, to leave the bishop there. I mean, he's gonna activate this bishop anyway. So, here we have a position where black, as I said, he's got 2 extra pawns, yeah, but we have this change. As white, we could consider playing something like queen g4, and when he plays here, we can try trading some pieces off. I guess in the long run this should be good for a win, and that is what a lot of people would play. However, Svidler plays bishop takes h6. he's playing quite strong here without allowing black, any counterplay. We are sacrificing a piece again, and his opponent plays knight to e5. But the main variation, of course, comes after pawn takes. Here his king is open again, so we can play queen c4, and when he plays something like king h7, defending the bishop, we have this powerful move. Rook f6, attacking the bishop, and as you can see, black can't take the rook because the queen is, unprotected on c8. And, well, only move it's queen e8. However, rook takes g6, it's winning. We are getting our material back. After queen takes, bishop e4, it's too powerful. If he plays king to c7, this is not helping much because, bishop e4, it's stronger here. He's still under a pin. We can also add rook c1, rook e1. I really like this bishop takes h6 sacrifice. Perhaps we could have won by playing, solid moves like queen c4, but, if you calculate and you see that bishop takes h6, it's working, then why not? We are winning a pawn too. I mean, what I'm trying to say is here, if we play the safe way, we're probably winning too, but he's got 2 extra pawns, and if he finishes his development, maybe he's got some drawing chances. If we take one of his pawns and we open his king, this changes too much. So he plays knight to e5, but now, it's time to slow down. We just keep a solid position. We bring our pieces to the center. Once we finish our development, I think the game is over. So let's try appreciating, white's technique too. Because, this is not easy, and sometimes your advantage may be gone unless you play well. I like knight to e4. The knight, it's going to a lot of squares. Can also be helpful defending the king. Queen to e8, queen b3, and black plays queen to f7. When white plays queen b3, he wants to play queen g3 next, bringing the queen, to kingside. We don't have to take on b7 because we have a lot of material already, and here we are just helping him. I mean, we are activating his pieces. There's no need of doing this. The material we have, it's already enough for winning, so we don't play queen takes b7. That is just activating his rook. We are gonna play queen c3, and we are still attacking a lot of all his pieces. Knight on e5, bishop c6, his king, the queen on f7 too. So black decides to play bishop takes, and now we have the bishop pair also. Our advantage, it's getting bigger. Knight to f6 and bishop c2. Yeah, if we take here, he can also try knight takes. It's not that clear, He threats knight takes c3 with check, queen d5. We have to keep the bishop pair if we have the chance. And here, black, he's helping us a bit because looks like he's gonna trade some pieces off. That's good for us. And here, let's see, last moves from the game. Queen e7, queen takes e5. I guess here we can win by trading queens too, But Svidler, in this game, he was playing quite strong, and Queen f7, King h8, Rook f5. Thing is, we're gonna just mate him. Next, we threat the queen, otherwise we play Rook to h5. Black tries this one, which is not helping actually. I'm just wondering what happens if we take the knight. I guess we are just winning. After this, I guess we can just move our bishop and we win, I don't see any mate for black, and he's down a rook. But after king c1, we are still attacking the queen, and we threat Rook h5, mate. So knight takes h3, and once more, instead of taking the knight, we just play king f1. He can't check us, there's no queen b5 nor queen f4, no checks, and we're gonna take the queen, otherwise we mate him on h5. So in this introduction we saw a nice game. We had to play with a lot of energy after the opening, especially when we played c5 and g5 as white, stopping black from castling. And of course, once we got some material, it's really nice to see the technique employed by white. So I hope you enjoyed this game, and we are going to continue analyzing in the next examples. Thank you.